This dish is pretty much almost as old as Adrian has been working for me. We've had some fun over the years, and this dish has seen many different versions and variations. And today is no different to that either, in the sense of we've taken a bit of a twist on the beef carpaccio dish. Carpaccio is one of those dishes for me, I think the Italians do it the correct way, obviously. However, I don't freeze mine, and I think I get a better value for money experience out of it because we actually take the beef itself, we slice it and we'll smear it. Adrian will take you through a couple of the techniques on that. We'll assemble the dish and we'll show you a new twist, a little bit of fun and absolutely delicious take on the beef carpaccio itself.
So I've got my different herbs. I've got added a bit of dill, a bit of parsley, some basil and some coriander, and I'm just going to put that in my pestle and mortar. Got some garlic as well, got a bit of red chili, some olive oil and some capers.
Do you want to maybe jump on the carpaccio for me as well? I'm getting him to do all my work today. All right, so what we're doing now is, like I mentioned earlier, is with the fillet. Most of the time we used to, through our understanding of French cookery, we used to take the fillet, put it in some lemon juice and some black peppercorns crushed. That would have deemed possible as almost like a cooking process where the lemon juice would actually burn the meat itself, and then the flavor profile would be then with the black peppercorns. In this case, for me, I find that when you do freeze them and they cut it so paper thin, it looks really impressive. However, for me, this is actually a portion of food where you can actually enjoy and actually taste the meat. All right, so for me, again, always like to be a little bit different. I like to kind of do a bit of a square setting as opposed to the classic rounds. So we keep it quite simple. Assembly-wise, this dish has taken quite a lot of a different approach over time. So we got our little onions that we seared. Over here, I've got some blush tomatoes. So blush tomatoes is a great process that we've been using over the years. So we dry our own tomatoes out. The nice part about that is, like, most people are too scared to do it. And the reason for that is they're always worried that the tomatoes are going to be on the sort of whooshy side. But in actual fact, if your temperature is correct and you dry it out over a number of hours at about 100 degrees Celsius, you'll find that the tomato loses its moisture but doesn't actually lose its texture, which is exactly what we're looking for. We put a bit of garlic in there, black pepper, olive oil, a nice seasoning of salt on there. Also helps with the moisture. Different components, we've got things like deep fried anchovies, which for me is part of that salting component about this dish that makes it quite special. Now, most people don't like anchovies, but in actual fact for me, if you put it through a tempura base, you actually get the most delicious anchovy. Same with capers, if you fry them, you lose almost some of that saltiness, but it's still salty, but it's more palatable. A little bit of garnish, and most people wouldn't imagine that you're going to be putting fishiness with things like a beef. We've also got some lovely parmesan, which we've shaved with a peeler. Also got some parmesan, which we've basically baked in the oven to be sort of nice and crunchy and crispy. All about textures and all the natural ingredients that would generally you would associate with things like carpaccio. I've also taken a new little technique on egg. So normally when we're serving things like carpaccios or tartars, we would then add a poached egg for that matter. And we've just taken that extra level further where I've got these wonderful egg yolks, which we've basically taken and salted. The one over here is for a week. The other two are for 24 hours. And you can see the texture. It's really beautiful. I'm not going to actually roll it out, but you can kind of see the firmness, how the salt actually takes moisture out. And that's what salt is really. It's a preservative. Removes moisture, stops bacteria growth, and in this case, cooks for us. So I've used some lovely desert salt from Oryx Desert Salt, which is from near Uppington. And we've used this and cured this over time. The other part of this is I can actually grate it over the top as well, to give that rich egginess to the carpaccio in this case. And then also you got this lovely seasoned yolk. What I've done is rolled them out, so you get this lovely finish on here. You get this lovely thin texture of the yolk. So we're just going to put that on as a point of difference. A little bit tricky to work with when they're at room temperature. We're going to take some of our chimichurri. Chimichurri is one of those lovely ingredients. Got a little balance of everything, all the green, the healthiness to this dish. We're just going to put a couple of blobs around. As I say, this dish keeps on evolving over time. Always a bit of pepper on here goes well. Some ground pepper. And then one of our favorites, we got this lovely salt, beautiful kala namak from Pakistan, between there and India. It's known as a mud salt. It's got a bit of an egginess to it, and that on meat is just incredible. Yeah, just a nice, good, generous helping on there. People are shy when it comes to seasoning. Don't be. Just lastly, our leaves. So have you some little onion rings, another play on onions, which we've used through a deep fryer with a bit of tempura batter. Just takes the old-fashioned carpaccio to another level. Lastly, we've made an incredible emulsion, which is, I think if the chefs see me at a function without emulsion on the menu, they're rather concerned because it goes everywhere. It's just one of those beautiful things that I think adds so much flavor and texture. As you can just imagine in this dish itself, is all based on texture and flavor. And then I've got a little bit of fennel, which you don't usually see on a dish of meat. It's always gone back to those traditional experiences where we don't. But again, you need to explore flavor. And I think we become the flavor kings. Where's my makeup? And there we go.